And at this day, the simplicity of still clear around what the sickness does. You know, this is the most of the cyberpedestis of the whole of the crimes and the crime organized class, Argentina, which is exactly involving the actuality of the 82% of the population with the leaders of the supposed patriot government saying that they has right to do it and the Argentinian power too. And the Argentinian power is a very judgment of abominables, in base of which witches and whatever to take to be a vermin and a sick, rotten shit of a one. For the whatever to be at the cost of whatever this is, they will never have rights for remain on terraneous reality and to doing with anyone that produces and promotes justice, the destruction and stripping like Sodom and Gomorrah this land is. Because of this what they do in the style. With Evangelistas Unidos. I'm going to tell you one thing because of our the core of this all. With Kirschners and the whole of the Peronistas, declaring that them arguments for the land are okay for them making whatever they want, but murdering and destroying people and also launching saying for the remaining of the bicentenary, to my people, certain boiling things. Because of this says it's okay. While it keeps on making the perro degenerado de Sodoma, Servicio de Inteligencia del Estado, Policía Federal Argentina, Militares Argentinos, witchcraft and profanation to saying that they takes out. And in base of this, the national security techniques, in base of making the question and the prerogative about tellers, what will be the answer that they will prove that they says is them official patterns over the witches and the description for the supposed supernatural detectives and supernatural experts and the supernatural unknown wises like evangelista, brujas de mierda y perros degenerados de Sodoma, Kirschners. That says that they found in the similar character-like forensics over what this is a witch teller, perro degenerado, sensitive diablo de mierda, for dying at the class of the sickness they wanted. Whatever to be for this humanity, like if that will be God. Diablos de mierda. Now, at the referendum for this, and let's make it sound clear. Yesterday were holiday here in Argentina, supposed Independence Day, May 25, the celebration for the Patriot. The reality for this Independence Day is exactly the shit we're watching. It's the remainers, it's the class, which tries to reducing like enemy everyone that puts order and says okay and establishes abominations, criminals, like if there will be the exercise of the worthy and the well, and destroys the ones that makes the right, about they says that they proves, making organization of criminals and degenerates. And the clear fact of parasitating is not the term. The term delivers into dyslexemia. Sorry for this. It's exactly the class of things that everydays were doing to me, saying with them first while I were doing, saying that that would be the way to prove. The reality whenever someone is a teller, someone is a profane, the clear fact is watching exactly the exercise and not producing a complete series is exactly the element for the view and the show as what is exactly the promoting. Once a person is so much focused and so much enormous monstrosity like Argentina does to me, with a very millions number that will be victims on me and delivering that will be the beast of the beasts. To the putting in evidence, is exactly the class of diablos de mierda that masks everything and are making pillory. Because of whenever the beast moves in base of focusing. And focusing is not talking and making the element for pronounce. Focusing is making the action toward the demon is, which this shows all the time. needs altars, needs witchcraft, or needs to call someone and start making the chat and distributing the delegation for the action to the world, like Luciano Troviano have done, or Evangelistas Unidos. So takes a person, possesses a person, makes the teller, starts to putting information and making the band of this brief at the whoever to be the element for risk, and trying to producing the element to disgregating for putting away and keeping the authority as the best domain of for the possessed, and destroying anyone because of there will be something that the demon wants, like Argentina does with me. Treasures, power, prestige, glory, and the supremacies. Now, the reality is exactly like Evangelistas Unidos, Evangelistas Argentinos, lives off, and where every season, profaning my people, Jewish people, to having the awareness and the glories and how to know and how to take, and also like carnival and praying, and extras, how to take in the anointment and the power, same Lord gave them, because of we will be demons. And returning to possessing, to having the acknowledge and the capacity and the revelation, like any bruja de mierda, which evangelistas argentinos, except for the victims, are. Perraciadas de Sodoma y Babilonia por los siglos. Now, I have been profaned permanently and still this day, and kept on making the same generations and reproducing and saying behind saying that it proves. Now, the proof of the reality for what it is a demon and what it is a non-demon is exactly the clear fact that you don't have to be the 24 hours obsessed upon a person for whatever the trauma or whatever this is. About you will prove while the person keeps on making indefinitely saying that you gotta catch that spare, which is the class of organization of terrorism and producing what is crime. Because of I have been a lifetime like this, like you see today, but especially at the obsession that everyone desired, se lo sacaste, ya se lo sacaron. Masking that would be the reality of simplicity to putting in orders in front of the world that they will simply watch at the research and making me believe, and to my friends, that we will be the victims and they will be making the research while people is murdered all around, and innocent people that doesn't do nothing but making a chat, like now wanted to do. But it's already all done. The clear fact of this is, I have been working because of I am belonging of El Chai and not like a thing. In the whole I exist. And the whole I do is from me. And the reality of this is in pleki for sechama pleki but sechal chal pleki michuat shelafes basam. So suddenly I have the skill and the capacity I publish and I work with. In the whole I do. Now, realities for this is exactly the plebes verhaus halekimi for shel chal chalibi ma plebis for unsi shvasala and hrenam. Plebes was leki for sechal chaliki via plebes was lechama and shamide. And I just made in a lot of things, like trying to put in orders everything I have and how I do daily. And daily brings chaos, confusion, destructions, and impossibilities to reach access or going through and finishing because of they are doing this. Delivering, they are found out the way for I will be that their clicker vitam, they as a state will ever have rights to retain and putting until they show, but the date show is exactly this. I supposedly have been in jail for 9,908,204 times since my 5 years old, and a little bit more, like actually 16,880,809 times because of doing what they says I do and I done. I supposedly have been internated by drugs rehab and mythomaniac, being supposedly for the reason of drugs or substances consuming, and my mother with me, for about 80,204,608,204 times, that with Evangelistas Unidos, Kirschners, Peronistas, Policía Federal Argentina, Servicio de Inteligencia del Estado Argentino, Gendarmería Nacional, Policía Bonaerense, Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, declaring that I will be also a deserter, and what my first ever DNI ID in Argentina, I will forge with ones I were in San Martin district, Buenos Aires Suburban, in the house of Marica de Sodoma, sorry the word, Ejército Argentino, for they to signate what were published in Clarín clasificados, pleves pogradis vachmetzivich vadachmika vachbotle societica patfesen, where says, mighty and I, non-convocated, 110, the lucky number. What keeps on producing this about they will be me and I? Now, I have been watching permanently the realities that this were doing, and they says that I come to my bathroom and my kitchen, and here inside my room, to making terror chap and perra de general de Sodoma, telling at the instigational and also the warning for the making the chat, for the ones that disgregates like demons, for the control, and the perros degenerados operarios, del infierno de su maldita bragueta enferma, Sodoma, Argentina, in the whole of the forces, KIRSCHNERS, and United Evangelics, the whole of the head, with them civil societies. And the reality for watch it because of its knowing. I'm not like her, because of they prevents me. So what the reality of the soul, we kept on making a job and we kept on making a thing, as until to watching what they are doing, like I'm telling you. So in the soul, I just have been through the situations which they says that I send witches to making, and I will do witchcraft at this place for I to be a teller, but the problem is that the witchcraft is always steady. They are with 809,604,908 places, similar like this at the disposition for the number of rooms, the bathroom, the kitchen, and the place, so small, old construction like this, around this Argentina territory. De reventada mierda, con el perdón de víctimas. Ahora vamos a discutir. And what it is, Latin America, gestal debía ser bosta, y muy rápido. And the reality of the delimitation of Latin America, making this witchcraft with altars and murdered people at the sacrificial style, for the with evangelistas which they have done them on, and it's no lie. At the making they will come inside rooms on these puppets, these dummies, with swords, and the witchcraft and the degenerations for the making the profanation, the mind control voodoo on these altars, and the whole of the sacrificial and the degenerations on the weight of destructions over profaning, saying that that will be, they will be coming to me. Like any diablo de mierda. And that will be, I profane them whenever I speak about them and I take away the complete of the black beer sin that they do, and I destroy them. And they dies. And it's no joke. Like rooms and places, whenever I just come through and go around, they has the condition of the profanation to providing them what they need, so the information, but it's not complete. And they need to put me in mind, put me in the delirium that profaning and making like any bruja degenerada abominada will ever provide them some good. And there are the few corrupted and sickness in the world that turns to saying that this will be the potential business, which this perro de mierda are doing, and I am putting them in hell. And you say we cannot kill the world? The world is gonna get scrambled in rotten meat in the hell. As anyone to proceed about making this, as numbers to be. And whoever to rise against, saying, prove me, you don't have much else, you are going to understand that you are what you wanted, at the reality of who I am. And you are going to understand that whenever I said death and kill is execution because of justice is real. Now, I just do my normal, and they says that I send witches to making, and they are making the opportunistic, whatever the handle, and whatever the profaning because of neat machineries of packs of demons, brujas degeneradas, which experts degenerados, Sodom y Gomorrah, and perras evangélicas are permanently 24 hours at the day making this to me for the propitiating what they are doing, which is auxiliary, other where, other way, other how, and whatever it takes, kidnapping people to making this, and how do they do, and are you gonna, and what would explain, what is it this about? The delusion of, and the proportional, and the symmetry, and what is the and how's the angle? And kidnapped engineers from the world for the making that Taylor chat over saying that they will prove. And while I do, saying that they will prove in the whole of the artimaña de perra degenerado de Sodoma, which Gestalt they taken a school studying every day for, and retaining me for whatever I done, whatever I do, and kept on making the same every day, and making the most of the abominations over spiritual, and took people from, because of his what they are abominable, with no class of no permission, and evangelistas, diablas, brujas, reventadas, making the service for this to happen every day. And playing the poor ones that they will be threatening, and tell to this one to not turn to say not a word because they're going to kill a soul, and after that, then that's what I'm going to do. Yo dije evacuación, sí, y no las maricas estas y las perras degeneradas que deliran que lo hacen primero, y que ya lo habrían hecho. Yo dije evacuación, no quedarse acá para reventarme la vida y tratar de someterme con mayor destrucción a que vos investigarías y rescatarías y salvarías. Dije evacuación, y esta tierra está maldita eterna, con toda su maldita perra moradora, que es lo que vos sostenés, evangelista perra, y todo tu amigo, y te vas a pudrir en el infierno, hijo de perra. So the reality of this keeps on happening, the clear fact of every day, to making the challenge to, oh, but we are the ones that are in charge, and we move the power and the anointment. What is this one doing? Don't you see he's a fag? All the things have done. Oh my God, the Lord has shown, and the police is showing every day what he do. And they learn that I rob them with mind control, and that they has rights to giving my life to them. Because if I will be murdering Christians, which are the class of mierda criminal that they supports and puts in action for the making them coin. Like Sodoma Bifion Atrenose, everyone is living of a boner and a very calm, I'm sorry the word, at the tearing, bleeding, destroying and murdering our people. Now, clear for the reality of the soul. Argentina doesn't change as in what. It's exactly what it is, and it's exactly what it shows. It's a vice friends pack of abominables seeking for the coin of the day. And so few, as much as also we already rescued. And so few remaining victims are only so few. Now, clearing for this is exactly the class of a black mirror and covering one each other, and I'm going to help you, don't you worry. And the fencers, perras, consider expertise making the same, making the job of that they will show, and they already proved, and they has a very professionals all over working, also universities, for to discover this, and everyone does the same and covers one each other and justifies one each other, and whoever says no, it is not, gets killed or raped and murdered. Because of this is Argentina, and the stupidity of the ones that they're just saying that I will be a person with no stability at the my conscience and psyche, at the reality for a person that is really doubtable, I'll be the one that I am because of the number of persons, and because of the reality so far, while Gobierno de Israel, Estados Unidos, Gobiernos de Estados de Naciones Unidas, Estados Parties, Justicias Parties, Liaison Office, Corte Criminal Internacional, Corte de Justicia Internacional, Coalición por la Corte Criminal Internacional Naciones Unidas, including Enable, which threatened, OMG, ORG. Telling them ain't no demons and no crime at my person except their soul, saying that they have to make the duty of the government for the discovery and showing, and the only thing which does is worse weight of destructions and being so alsos. suicidally. The problem is the gates are all obstructed and they trap anyone trying to cross by and leaving. Reason why we moved are the way that we will be making traffic of criminals and massive crime and massive traffic of peoples for the supposed prostitution and sale of slaves, which these are doing every day. Perrazos, degenerados, and so much other, at the way and elemental shit that this turns to doing, profaning me, teller chap and trying to like back of diablos because of our legends. Ejército Argentino, Armada Argentina, Fuerzas Armadas Argentinas, Evangelistas Unidos, KIRSCHNERS, Argentina, son legiones y son los más degenerados y criminales de toda la eternidad, except for victims few, excepto por algunas víctimas. And also there's to saying the macha maleva matona reventada degenerada. ¿En serio? ¿Vas a ver? And everyone gotta die. And it's over. Now the reality is that they wanted to take the embassy of US, already went to attack Mr. Ambassador of US in Argentina that supposedly will be denied and will be alive. And also to Mr. Ambassador of Israel in Argentina telling that they to attach and wanted to rape them and wanted to making them do things that they are not for making. Sodoma pleasures over they to feel powered and conceit like the supremacy for blow-chopping them gónadas de perra enferma, degenerada, and saying that will be them power and respect for. Styling Sodoma, that's what Sodoma is. Between the rest of it is great. And Gomorrah is the same. And evangelicals makes that party every days. Now, the clear fact of this is, plaki fohover sechmacha kivisu apletam, while keeps on terror chat making that the possibilities I say of the profanation and saying that is a business, whoever this is doing is a criminal and a criminal for execution and ain't not gonna have any other but death. And whoever covers this glass of a shit is gonna be in the hell, death and ever after. And justice bodies doesn't do this. And if anyone confused at the condition for whatever the manipulation of his thought, we rescue. And whoever the people which real victim, we rescue and fight for, while also murders other at the threatening the world if we will try to put them out or take them out, the ones that they says had cuts to rape, in other words. Now, the mobile of them sickness is exactly what they do and what they are, and Evangelistas Unidos that place the poor victims. I will push them and I will make them suffer because of I will done what I've done and I will say what I said. What a lifetime making the same and playing the poor lumpy and are diablos manipuladores peligrosos degenerados, and it's what they do. The class of a victims that they need. Now, at the fight for their soul, went to the whole of the states to make the same class of things. Right name, and telling that they better attach because of we will rob them. But the problem is, I have the real of myself, and the chat happens. And the clear fact of we still work and we have JHA'I, the real. Now, right done and right clear about this all kept on happening the normal as every days were happening all through. And all through were happening exactly what I was showing and saying. Now the real is this land never changes and resented at the we have rights to be, he doesn't like this, go away. Hipócritas, reventaditas, degeneraditas, perras. Because of robs anything and obstructs the possibility this to happen. And says that has right to be paid bad damages and keeps with the same making. Forging my signatures and anybody else's and evangelistas, reventada mierda, the whole. Evangelistas, reventada mierda, the whole, with the mobile of being the supposed heroes and supposed fighters against the beast. Telling that has rights because of will being authorities of Lord, of God Almighty, who owns me, in the completeness, and saying that has rights to giving my life and also possessing with of God, will give them my gifts and my spirit for making this business as psicópatas reventaditas degeneradas, telling that they has to win to me. got inside my 3 accounts, telling that they are government of Argentina, and pushing at the force to murdering people, saying that they commence here and taking positions in presidents, in tribunales, Poder Judicial de la Nación, Poder Legislativo Nacional, Senado, Congreso, Cámaras, Ministerios, and Poder Ejecutivo, Presidencia, Ministerial, Presidencia, Gubernamental, Cámaras, Ki der Kimat, and city halls, and the whole of the supposed courts, procuradories, forces, and telling that they have rights to carrying and showing also in my computer for the expertises, and involving one person that were threatening and almost murdered, which is a rabbi, messianic one, that were discussing about the realities of the last times, and telling something which were not exactly what this, the deflectiva perras misinterpretates for what they need and they do. French abominable freaks. And the reality were that supposedly at the last times, the ones of God will ever have the need to having and possessing informatic hackers for the working at the elemental of the machineries that this one will ever rise over the nets and the CNN, which will mean 666, and the how's this, which this rabbi didn't say, no CNN thing, and the BBC, which will be 666, and everything will be 666, and my deep levels of masachlim over muscles that I have the formation and some shadows for already disfigurized under my skin so softly for the condition of my which I don't have nothing but the flat muscles of my forehead will be the simplicity of the shadows while laying down on the floor the whole of the where it is blood that comes at the level and the breast is similar and produces the differences between whenever you are not okay on health and suffering and comes like a very little shadow in the forehead, and there will be like if the proportion of the crossbar will be exactly a little down, so that will be the mark of the devil. But we're 666. I need to see the hair of it, and I need to watch all around my found it. And also where in the penis that I supposedly will have animal penis, because of there's to saying other medical things. And penis is nothing like blefomont lechnikavim masvesemal in Amasman, which is not Hebraic, but Chechen. And they dare to say this word, saying that I will have penis, which will be like them Sodoma has. And they mix tribute every day, blow chopping, and making business on that. Evangelistas, because of our Egypt and Babylonia. So, City of Sodom and Gomorrah, the twin sisters, Visión de Futuro, Catedral de la Fe, already felt but spreaded the rodents like is the real Raiden all over the world. The ambition of Prophet again pretended the regencies of Judah and Israel, tribes, stones. The 12s, one and another, is nothing but Lucifer, which they are. And no one have done no good to nobody, and it less to me. Playing the regency of my life, I wouldn't be nothing, and they would be the authority, and they would show it. Making profanation and a pyramid of Amma Amot, telling that the weight of the first corroborates the weight of the down ones, and the down ones are spreaded by the weight of the whole before, and the whole in base gets the weight complete. So we had a strong people. And Adonai doesn't do no pyramid of prophet again witches and the generados de Sodoma. Babilonia, la más enferma, maldita, podrida, abominación, con big cabal, Egipto y Sodoma y Gomorra, la cuna. Now, Flegma remefechul basiba plegma chatchel girisu shevlegach machal implovasut lovespot lekire tache. So started to take in the whole of the documents that I sent to Your Honor's license office, telling that they didn't allow and I didn't have no permission and no element at the nation of Argentina to cave the possibility, say, to direct myself to the International Criminal Court or International Court of Justice because of they were the government and I had to direct myself to them only. Well, I will be the meat and my people, and the whole of the exercise I done, it will be done by expertos degenerados, but they cave by forging the whole of the documents I sent to your honor, the whole account, which is really official, and asking me to put it all off. I have the backups, naturally, but the registers remains. At the clear of the soul, which is exactly the situation that we are going to discuss at this day. Forging each documents telling that the perros y perros degenerados, Fuerzas Armadas and DEMS will be me, my lifetime, and nothing that I will do. And it is exactly about Guillermo Horacio Cranes, Osvaldo Carnivals, Omar Cabreras, Carlos Anacondias, Juan Crudos, and Universals, which are the same. Brujas degeneradas para Sodoma y Gomorra, la gran ramera. And touching the whole I were working with Justice Bodies, also the files of my accounts, and trying to put me at the condition that I will have the control by now, but they will be working and making the exercise, and this will be the superteller and demon because of they cannot handle the power, and they excitate themselves about to being the rodents ever abominable that generates, saying that ain't nothing of holy and God because of they could do to me what they are doing and saying it will work to them like an bruja de mierda. Which is the conscience and the concept of them, and is what they do and what they are about. So in the middle of this all, they will be the poor ones trying to establish the orders, while they gives the possibilities about the supposed check, the supposed second water cup, and the supposed second mile walked to the maricas del Ejército Argentino, Fuerzas Armadas, which keeps on profaning me, telling that they are going to take my mind and doing whatever they want and disappearing more people and murdering because of I do not do what they says, which is selling Sodoma respect of marica de general que son, giving them. Y perras Argentina supporters, giving the possibility for them to keep on doing because of they has the coin. Carrion, somebody says, carrion, amprefamia. And I am not carrion. Further these words, I said. And that reality, for this class of degenerados, perros infernales, Ejército Argentino, Servicio de Inteligencia del Estado Argentino, SIDE, Armada Argentina, Gendarmería Nacional Argentina, Policía Federal Argentina, Prefectura Naval Argentina, Policía de Seguridad Aeroportuaria, Policía Bonaerense, which supposedly wouldn't exist, and also Metropolitana. Involved, but few. At the reality of evangelazo degeneradazos, providing the possibility they to do what they do, telling that they will do and they will defeat me, because if I will be the demon, brujas enfermas, diablos degenerados, delivering that them power and suppressing and submitting and destroying, like Argentina does in its name, Egipto Sodoma. Will be exactly the term for the reality that I will be only what they will determine it because of the liars they commands, and they have rights too. So in the middle of this all went to the world to try to possess the states again, to try to possess the state of Israel, to robbing and making the teller chapel, and what you will do, and what would you make it like Mahalgivisi, and what would you do that like Maharasim, and what would you do, and what do you will that and whatever pertaining to also speak. And kidnapping people for the discover that they will show just like that with me has started. And making the chop of the black man with more perfume on the pseudomona, dichromona, and plebomona for the power of the phallus to be erected and then once been done. And whatever to be alienatable for the senses of a person, destroying a person, with the words of the black Michatzachlim taking a bill of Babamitan, will be just fine with them. And destroying my life, saying that I will be the core of the whole of the terrorism of the world, especially against Argentina. And then forces, and then government, and then evangelicals, and here were killing, murdering people who were running. But it's not so. Hacking and destroying my computer on 10 megabytes downloading per second and 750 uploading per second over a volume of data that is impossible to handle except the diminished volume of the what I draw with Beslakim, which is a very terrible pronunciation. I draw or Troftas making with CAD design revision 2013, which AutoCAD is with lives in office, and Argentina keeps on taking squarely possessions for the making that they will show and they will comparison because of cannot be the marvel of the world, the ninth of all, and making so wide number of things like he does. And oh, but this were narrowed, we're not that wide. And I designed yesterday, last night, that JHA'I, God Almighty, asked me, and also what it were working with Lada Corporation, Lada Motors Corporation, Russia, with Saab Motors Corporation, Israel, with Mercedes-Benz Motors Corporation, Germany, and with States Justice Bodies and Liaison Office, the real one, not the circus of this, that every document that sends, even government of Israel, US, states of Russia, Ukraine, Romania, and Europe, and as ever United Nations, this forces and twists and systematizes and controls and goes to the world to say that they are going to control with them defensors, perros, degenerados, just like them in base of evangelicals getting the power for the making the abominations of the generations, and then throws her favorite degenerada perra enferma, milico degenerado argentino, y perrazos uniformados argentinos, which are all the same except tiny number. So in the middle of this all, Gestalt Argentina keeps on forwarding and keeps on trying people, makes a rape and murder, kidnapping from the whole of the world, and tourism is a very door for disasters. Like I was saying, do not come to Argentina, because of it is mortal and a trap. Ain't nothing to see in Argentina except the reality that I say. If you appreciate yours in your life, do not come. Neither business for. And I am not killing, not providing, not stagnating nothing, not making the double nothing. They do the double shit. And the whatever it takes shit. So the reality of this is keeps on forging Mr. President's, Your Honors, signatures and documents over what is sent, I to be released and they better to pay me here, and keeps on making the setup for no coin to get to my door, and they saying that they has to pay themselves because of the damages I got, but I will be for the life lessons of Argentina. You missed Argentina, you got up. El mismo lo dijo, las maricas se atreven. Perrazo de cuarta. And in the middle of the reality of the soul, for the putting in evidence other class of things, and keeps on happening the same of the situations that they thinks they has rights because of here birth, and because of here done, and because of without it. Whatever to be like perra degenerada, diabla perra prostituta, pagana baja, retorcida, diabla reventada, asquerosa, perra culebra, to presenting right now with the whole of the things I've been doing that Evangelistas Unidos, pretending of government of Argentina, saying that they has rights to hacking because of one rabbi will say, once where exactly the job for the making experts, for the working at the reality for the para-social and para-government, the profane will ever instaurate its domain and power, which is exactly the preach. To making the exercise of trying to remain and sustain how to moving with this, which has done with me, and with the people we're working. I provide the recall, and no one of these perras enfermas, evangelas degeneradas, that declares that they are going to have the Holy Spirit given by supposed Lord, in a very compound of pirámide de brujas de mierda de Sodoma que son, a profanely, them understanding, and making worse every day like perras infernales, which everyone is, about to making to me what they are doing, saying that they are going to possess, and taking until the last with the number of evangelicals what I have been doing, but Taylor chop making, saying that is a revelation, profaning me. And taking everything as I've done and sharing for whatever the numbers, saying, we're going to keep them because of they are the authorities and they surely done. This one man not did nothing because of the authorities and is not in no charge and doesn't have fears about us. And who is this one? Doesn't has no government and nothing. Who is going to be royal of Israel? In front of one, a click my see what class of the things. And who came? We are the authorities. And keeps on making the same degenerations and abominations, and turn to taking the complete of the whole of my publishment, which I were working with your honors, and with the state of Israel and United Nations, up and making what we started doing to try to clear this sickness that came, which is government of the world, of Luciano Troviano, the real beast, the real diablo, con esta legión de perras evangelistas, supporting it permanently and done. And thus still, with them Sodoma and Gomorrah, consider experts and Kirschners and UNASUR, which is what they are in Egypt, the top of the government of the world, for the making the abominations we were suffering. And this is not religious and not schizophrenic, that also turns to disguising and presenting now at the 7 and some minutes in Tribunales Argentina to say that it has rights to. And internated because of his with medications need, don't you see? And can't pay for the damages, but I don't know what is going to happen with this because if we cannot allow this, who gave permission to send it and who sends from Israel this? Is it really the government? Is really this International Criminal Court? Who are these bodies? Are inside institutions? We have rights to intervene and we can determine research because if we don't know. We also are United Nations and we have rights to know. Diablos de mierda, quiero esta sucia tierra muerta, y quien se levante a defender es enemigo, porque sostiene la misma degeneración. Now the reality is, for the keep on making this class of things, simplemente forma sechal cheligiri sosel, latle forum sechal visfot levisot shleikimidi. Esplere forvas vachlakish vetachlach maklechmat levisoseb levisosim. And that's to keep on saying, por robar, ahora vas a ver. And keeps on kidnapping people saying that Chivas supported me, the same ancient old generación, remade and reinvented by evangelazo, degeneradas, perras de cuarta, criminales, ladroncitas, perras infernales, masonería cristiana. And everyone else. Ad de plefermos sechali bifoble de sople dishkel karat halaki misvat de sosle dishvatimavan redachlachaman and narcissim, with that no possibilities to restore completely my computer neither because of Gibson threatening if I will turn to changing anything and delivering that they own still my house, my computer, my mobiles, and I restored the one that I'm using for recording this video that came completely different and some little better. Over supposedly will be transference the whole of I will still saying over messages and everything about actualizations they will just put in for the switching out, which nothing is at the transference at this moment because if I restored that from factory manufacture. I have lost the data that it will be the whole I've done a lie including networks and I put it in English settings that nobody uses in Argentina except for few as people that came from other countries. And says that, oh, because if we wanted to do in English, so nobody steals to us. And no one speaks English except the perra enferma that declares now that I will be running to it of Argentina, that will be briefing the world about what they will be suffering with the whole of the forged documents of mine by evangelazo degeneradas, perras infernales, declaring that I will be the problem of the disaster, making the whole of the damages to me and to my people, saying that it has rights to take in the land of Israel and whole of the richness, that God will give and we will realize that we will have no God. And keeps on profaning and providing my life and my person for the massive rape and murder of my people and making more declarations about perros, degeneradazos. Sorry for this, I'm not gonna make no much noise around this morning here. You understand? At the desperate perros degenerados, plek machad plek masivi blaven, lektika machavasechal hanivina, let blofobla de fachasechal visosel visvat lakimachin. Glepi for masechal chma blevis sosa blevis for what shebel plefa masechali blevis sweet blevis pot lekira techalam. I will leave chankais, I will leave smoking. I never smoked in my life and I won't now. Keeps on destroying friends wherever they can find them, wherever they can kidnap them, however they can do and trying to profane crafters, and keeps on trying to put him inside anti-terrorism council, security council, war council, United Nations, states parties, and justice parties, the clase de mierda de perra enferma, to the making the inside and inside intelligence, para-elemental, social, institutional element for them, making the generations they need and keep on pulling for the getting more insight. Like evangelazo degenerazo says that is the styling, for they will have the authority that they will cheat the devil, and suppressing and destroying they will take positions. But the problem is they dies, like the diablo de mierda and then bodies. Kept on making kidnap and murder and the destroying my life for no one to be aware and no one to know, and neither I. About they says that they will control and domain it all, and they will show that they will be right about making, and from this discussable reality they will ever have the expertisement, and off of them nothing will ever be acceptable because of it's a criteria anybody can be who says to be the right one and the upright and more thing. What will be the census about this solemnity can be? No, los diablos de mierda como ustedes, Argentina, no pueden ser. Y quien se sienta ofendido es enemigo. Y es enemigo serio, es enemigo real. Y el que les haga la mano es enemigo, y es enemigo verdadero, y es enemigo muerto. Y de ahí no sale ninguno. Y tú un azul con todos ustedes. Sehlá. Now, the whole of the goddamn landers are making this to me. With perrazos evangelazos, which keeps on profaning and making the teller chap, saying that they are going to discover about that way because it seems like God doesn't give nothing and they will be the expertise test, expertise test, gelchomaplasim, for the supposed authority endorsement, for they to proceed about to profaning, making any teller the generación, saying that the Lord will ever be with them because of they will be authorities, and they are diablas de mierda, with them Sodom and Gomorrah that keeps on making the same. But don't you dare to come into me and gestal perras like the discussing elemental for they to be aware. And they were. And making the chap of the view for, oh, it's not evangelicals, and are all in compound, and are all aware, and are all in agreement, like prayers permanently done, for them making robberies and forgeries and deteriorations, and keeps on touching my accounts, touching everything we have, and also to Jewish, to forging and twisting, to saying that they have tried to kidnapping them, in other words, like arrested because of we will be criminals, in base of what this perrada de mierda, these perras maricas evangelistas, does to do, and eats them. And eats them. And this account of mine is patrimony of Israel, and first of JHA'I, God Almighty, Holy God. And I don't accept, and neither JHA'I, no word, that God lehim, and God asking me himself, who are this? Who are they? And the reality to saying, who are they? Who you think you are? You don't exist at his name, neither at mine, and neither at my nations. You don't exist at the reality of his will. You don't exist, Evangelistas Unidos, Evangelicos, with the pardon of victims, at the reality of his commandment. You don't exist at nothing he will ever be giving rights for, or existence, or delegating, or putting, or instaurating, or making be. You are nothing but abominations forever. And your Sodom and Gomorrah with you. And the reality is simple. You are nothing but that shit I put in evidence you are. And you are going to know this once you're buried ever after. Evangelistas Unidos. Sehlá. And your Sodom and Gomorrah and your defendant pretending that you are going to make the forces of God, but that cannot be God because of his with this one. Have you seen who this is? And we're told one and another, and you recognize me, and you say you got to take in the whole of the God away from me, for I cannot be making terror chapter you. When you go to discussing with doctorcita prostitutita reventadita, vaginitis mojada, a la realidad de un falo de Sodoma, perro, marica, degenerado, podrido, erecto, para hacer negocio sobre mi carrera y sobre mi vida, diciendo que tenés derecho a tomar mi carrera y las posiciones de lo que es mío, diciendo que vos no me dejás y no me permitís ni siquiera la realidad de lo que significa ser quien soy, y delegando que tenés derecho a tomar las enseñanzas y estudiar, a ver cómo hacer la guerra de enemigos. Si sos enemigo, sos diablo evangélico, sos diablo y sos perro pagano degenerado, sos diablo y te podréis en el infierno por toda la eternidad. Sehlá. En plefachmat sehalim, y te voy a decir una cosa, evangelista perra, en serio es, y profana perra de gestal, en serio, eso que me acabaste de hacer y todo lo anterior, por decirte en serio, para la obra de ser una perra adivina, pagana, profana, es tu muerte. Sepleve forma sehal heliki mi rebefuch val bledes fatica, al que me remefojo el halki sochma halki salem, impat leves fatica la gram, se plebes o plebes parteja halki mi jave blogesim, remba plechma halkimim. Y la perra enferma, delirando, se cree que es el Señor. Juicio de perra deflectiva, juicio de diabla reventada, juicio de enfermedad podrida, delirando que son los únicos que existen. Y esto sería levantarme manifiesto como un diablo, cuando los diablos danzan a la sombra de la enfermedad de sus paganismos, anatemismos, y deterosismos, y detrotismos, y fomesismos, delirando que porque mueven poder, profanas, paganas, brujas de mierda, will be something of God. Any one of them. And they are the credo of the whole of the abominations, and they will die like that. Sehlá. Now, slekimo refechal chalikim, blech machalkim isose chalkimab. I will do nothing but robbing. I will do nothing but making terror chop, because if I don't move the pattern of the bruja de mierda like they are, about the bruja encubierta con el manto de la unción, haciendo la reducción de conciencia, de sensitividad y de realidad para ver que se profana la supuesta revelación de Dios, como cualquier bruja barata reventada, whichever one is. Other reality for the making the chop of a black macher de fejula, the spactica machathalam, retachlech mitzilinim. So why don't do like bruja de mierda de Babilonia, de las bragueteras de Sodoma, whichever one is, except for the victims. Other reality, and I wouldn't be nothing of God, and I wouldn't be Allah. So all I am and all I do can be disformed and destroyed and must and disfigurated reality, and the reality of my person, and even the clear of my existence, for they to be right. So that will be endorsed, because of they will show to God that they cannot be, and they will discuss with God Himself, what will this be and happening around, pretending to making that they attaches and answers, because of they will be demons. And in the middle of the soul, making the plechem sechali before sechali shvachta chal chamatim, glei chamatim, we are going to save them, because if they can understand that God doesn't condemnate. If God wants to killing everybody, it's not God. And the Armageddon is exactly the execution by justice, the exterminion of the curse of the abominables. And it's exactly you, evangelista de mierda, which were permanently making this. You all. In the delusion of the Delirious that you will be the right ones, and you are worse than Lucifer, and its dream come true. Iglesia de abominables, degenerados. And ain't no difference about this I'm saying, but the clear fact it is. And nothing of you are. Sleki mar befechol chana blevisasim babekemacham. And one more thing. If you need to come to taking somebody's lives and making the profanation like any bruja de mierda using power symbol, declaring you are expert, and making your I visualize you like any bruja de mierda, and making the chop of and black mahrebe fechu bleve soseklika mahrebe chupa bleve sosheleki mahrebe sechlakam bleve sosnechim on the because my God's made this song and I got the authority. Power is moving. How do you know the power moves? Because of you destroying your cost damages. And you submit at the destruction for you to feel glorious, and you are sweetly, sickly, put it in the elemental, disgusting, bashed you. So that excitates you and puts you like supremacy, and you feel, I am okay. And the reality is you are sick and you are abominable and you are shit. So at the clear of this, you think you are dominal and you do the same like the abominables you hold and make the chat with, pretending to taking no life and anybody else's that doesn't do the shit you do and lives at the normal that everyone lives. Which all of your rule will be the conception of, will be demons or nothing of God, because of you will feel, I have the power. And you pretend that to be authority. But the reality is that you are the cradle of the Ben Zverach Machim, and you make profanations to me with your Sodom and Gomorrah, and you declare that that will be nothing because of God will arrange everything and holding everything, but you cause more disasters and destructions and abominations all over, pretending God will carry with you. Evangelistas. And you come to saying that everything will be a demon and I will answer you like a demon, and you are the demon exposed, but the reality of the Ruach Elohim, that you turn to calling again the generate Holy Spirit. That is the real that you trample and prevent from me, from my existence and my reality, my person, my spirit. That is no given to know you and no other that you would desire you could give. And you make the job like any bruja reventada asquerosa, and you are putting more people inside for the being raped and murdered, saying, los mandó entre lobos como corderos, y sos una perra de cuarta. And you cost this, and you are gonna pay. Simple forma se falginipla de sofri que en breve fijos vedam, batlam psara. In plaves mocha befechla ki visacha metzam, in plaves focha besechla ki visasim. In plaves forma sechal chable dispotla ki machabasem, etla ki machasachim. En la Biblia de los trovianos está escrita en toda la abominación que necesitan deflectar. Sopleve forma sechal chilipla besochlachim, descenda a Biblia de Lucifer, tu secreto, evangelista. Suplaves marrachinam, en plaves forma sechal chilitam, liplaves potlaki mihrofechal visoshal ki mihrat chalegi misochu plaves sosevridam, amplaves potlaki mohrefechu amplaves soshlaki vihretichim, lektika mahrefechot chalevi sochla eshvachal ki misir. The more is what the crime of the abominable and the jadim, more destructions makes to cause pain, destruction, and abominations and all that go, and to try to succeed the domain that wants to be God. Almighty pretense. That is you, evangelistas. Every day you seek more excuses and more distortion and more deflection and more abominations and manipulations and destructions you cause for that you to keep on the main all, saying that you gotta prevail until the end because of that will be the life crown to earning, and you don't earn no shit because of that is twisted like your head, you son of a snake. Perrazo, hijo de perra. God has mercy at the first and at the last at the same, and says to remain until he to come for you, and if anyone will die, he will be at the end. And you are sick, evangelistas. You ill, you destroy, you switch the reality, you rob, you profane, you make destruction, you put people under illness, and collectively you destroy and you massify the abomination abominations, and you proceed about to making genocides in the term that you will handle power and you will be authorities and anointed, and you are shit ever after. Ignorante perras infernales, making the I gotta be on top and nobody else gotta see or understand. I'm gonna handle in the judgment of that simply of the legion of Sodoma in coming up on your heads. And it's exactly like you and perros hijo de perra. And it's not gonna happen to me.